We're entering the time window in Kansas when corn producers should be scouting fields and assessing the needs for foliar fungicide application. Hi, I'm Rodrigo Noff, row crop specialist at Kansas State University Plant Pathology Department. Today, I'm here to talk about 4 major corn yield robbers: southern rust, common rust, gray leaf spot, and tire spot. Before getting to the weeds, I should say disease, I just would like to mention that in cooperation with K-State Plant Pathology Department, the Kansas Corn Commission has launched an online corn disease resource center that can be found at kscorn.com/corn disease to help growers identify what disease to watch for their in their local area, right? Now let's get to it. Several fields in Kansas are approaching the V10, VT tasseling development growth stage. Now is the time to be out scouting for the foliar fungal disease of corn: southern rust, common rust, gray leaf spot, and last but not least, tire spot. Southern rust scouting, what should we be thinking, right? Southern rust is typically first reported in Kansas in mid-early July. Pustules appears on the upper side of the surface of the leaf, unlikely common rust that can be found on either sides of that leaf. The pustules are scattered on the leaf surface and the spores appear orange and rub off on fingers and clothes as well. Severe infections can be seen on the leaf sheets, on the ear leaf, and on that whole canop. When we think about gray leaf spot scouting, beginning scouting for gray leaf spot in corn about 2 weeks before expected tasseling emergence. Gray leaf spot is characterized by rectangular lesions that are about 1 inch to 2 inches long and cover the entire area between the leaf veins. Early lesions are small and necrotic spots with yellow halos that gradually expand to full-size lesions. Lesions are usually tan in color but may turn gray during the fog or rainy conditions. The key diagnostic feature is that these lesions are very rectangular in shape. Tire spot scouting. Now, when you think about tire spot, especially now because it's active on that northeast part of the state, in Donovan County and Brown County as well. Tire spot lesions are black, raised, and have round elliptical shape. Susceptible corn hybrids may be at particularly higher risk for yield and silage loss compared to tolerant hybrids. For confirmation of tire spot, please submit your samples to the K-State Plant Diagnostic Lab. Now let's talk about some of the factors that influence corn response to fungicide applications. Research clearly demonstrates that the single best time to apply a fungicide for corn gray leaf spot and as well tire spot is from that VT to R1. First applications for tire spot disease management should be V10 to VT, but not before V10. And if needed, a second application should be considered between that R1 and R3 growth stage. A single application at V6, V8 will not hold up against late season pressure. A VT to R3 growth stage fungicide may be also provide a protection for southern rust. Keep in mind that some fungicides are good to excellent for gray leaf spot that are also very good to tire spot and southern rust as well. Next, let's dive into disease factors to consider when weighing the benefits of a fungicide application. Number 1, susceptibility level of corn hybrids. Seed companies typically provide information on the susceptibility of their hybrids to tire spot, gray leaf spot, and southern rust. In general, hybrids that are more susceptible to fungal foliar disease will have a greater response to foliar fungicide applications if disease pressure is high enough. 2, previous crop. Because tire spot and gray leaf spot survive in corn residue, the risk of this disease increase when corn is planted back-to-back into fields that were corn in the previous years. Fields with history of both disease should be close scouted. Southern rust, on the other hand, blows from the south every year, and it's important to watch for regional updates about southern rust pressure in the southern states. 3, the weather. Rainy and or humid weather generally is most favorable to gray leaf spot and tire spot. And in growing seasons when these conditions prevail, right, the risk for disease development increase. Southern rust is favorable by warm days and nights above 80 degrees and high relative humidity. Tire spot likes those more mild conditions, 60 to 73, high relative humidity, and prolonged leaf wetness period. Number 4, field history. Some field locations may have a history of high foliar disease severity. Fields in river bottoms or low areas or surrounded by trees may be more prone to have a gray leaf spot than the other disease. If no disease is present or pressure is low, I recommend holding off on that first application to VTR1 in case some other disease will begin to develop as the seasons progress. Data suggests that late application than R4 or below that V10 will be hard enough to pay that return of investment, right? Last but not least, how can we distinguish between gray leaf spot and bacterial leaf streak? So bacterial leaf streak was first identified here in 2016 and is already active in a lot of the western part of the state. While it lost potential for this disease remains unknown for us, we do know that it can be misidentified as gray leaf spot, resulting in unwanted fungicide applications. Fungicides will not have any efficacy effect on bacterial leaf streak, and remember that gray leaf spot typically has those very sharp edges defined by the leaf veins, where bacterial leaf streak will have more of that wavy edge that can cross the leaf vein. Also, if you get the bacterial leaf streak leaf and put against the light, you see the bacterial leaf streak lesions. It's more like a translucent lesion in comparison with gray leaf spot. Stay tuned for more information and reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.